Beneath 2 miles of ice, in the most isolated continent on Earth, something is waiting. Antarctica, frozen wasteland larger than Europe, where temperatures plunge to -128 degrees Fahrenheit, where darkness reigns for months at a time, and where the secrets buried beneath the ice may rewrite everything we know about human history and our place in the universe. What if I told you that military personnel have witnessed craft defying the laws of physics above Antarctic skies? That explorers have stumbled upon anomalies that government agencies scrambled to classify? That ancient maps suggests Antarctica wasn't always frozen, and that something, or someone, knew what lay beneath the ice long before modern civilization ever set foot there. Tonight, we journey to the bottom of the world, where the line between scientific mystery and extraterrestrial possibility grows dangerously thin. Our story begins not in Antarctica, but in the library of Topkapi Palace in Istanbul, Turkey. In the year 1929, a German theologian named Gustav Deissmann made a discovery that would puzzle historians for decades to come. Hidden among Ottoman archives, he found a map, the Piri Reis map, created by an admiral of the Turkish Navy in 1513. At first glance, it appeared to be just another Renaissance-era nautical chart, but when scholars examined it closely, they noticed something extraordinary. The map showed the coastline of Antarctica with remarkable accuracy. But here's the problem. Antarctica wasn't officially discovered until 1820, over 3 centuries later. Even more bizarrely, the map depicted the coastline as it would appear without ice. Antarctica has been frozen for millions of years. So how did a 16th century cartographer draw a continent that wouldn't be discovered for 300 years, showing geographic features that have been buried under ice for millennia? Piri Reis himself claimed he compiled his map from more than 20 source maps, some dating back to the time of Alexander the Great, and others even older. Were these ancient sources the work of a lost civilization that knew Antarctica before it froze? Or perhaps, visitors who surveyed Earth from above, creating maps with a perspective that wouldn't be possible until the age of satellites? The questions linger in the cold Antarctic air, unanswered. Fast forward to 1946. World War II has just ended, and the United States launches the largest Antarctic expedition in history. They called it Operation Highjump, and officially, it was a scientific and exploratory mission. But the scale of the operation tells a different story. Led by Rear Admiral Richard E. Byrd, a decorated polar explorer, the mission involved over 4,700 military personnel, 13 ships, and 33 aircraft. They brought enough supplies to last 8 months in the harshest environment on Earth. For a simple mapping expedition, the military firepower seemed excessive. The mission was supposed to last 6 to 8 months. It was abruptly terminated after just 8 weeks. What happened down there? Admiral Byrd gave a cryptic interview to a Chilean newspaper shortly after returning. He warned that in the case of a new war, America could be attacked by fighters that are able to fly from one pole to another with incredible speed. Strange words from a man who had just completed what was supposed to be a routine scientific mission. Declassified documents revealed that during Operation Heat, aircraft were lost under mysterious circumstances. Personnel reported equipment malfunctions that shouldn't have occurred. Some researchers claim that radar operators detected objects moving at impossible speeds that no aircraft of that era could achieve. The official explanation: severe weather conditions forced an early withdrawal. But survivors of the expedition, in their later years, told different stories of encounters with craft unlike anything in the American or Soviet arsenal. Stories that were dismissed as Cold War paranoia or the hallucinations of men driven mad by the endless white horizon. The truth remains locked in classified files, stamped with security clearances that suggest the mission encountered something far more significant than harsh weather. Beneath the Russian Vostok station, under more than 2 miles of solid ice, lies one of Earth's most mysterious features, Lake Vostok. This subglacial lake is roughly the size of Lake Ontario, sealed off from the outside world for an estimated 15 to 25 million years. It's a world unto itself, a time capsule of ancient Earth, and possibly something else. In 2001, satellites detected a massive magnetic anomaly over Lake Vostok. The readings were so unusual that scientists struggled to explain them. What could cause such powerful magnetic signatures beneath miles of ice? Some researchers theorized metallic deposits or unusual rock formations, but others wondered if something artificial might be resting at the bottom of that ancient lake. Russian scientists drilled toward the lake for decades, finally breaking through in 2012, but what they found, or what they claimed to have found, remained shrouded in secrecy and contradiction. Initial reports suggested they discovered microorganisms unlike anything previously known to science, organisms that could survive in extreme isolation and pressure. But then the whispers began. Anonymous sources from within the scientific community spoke of something else down there's something that the official channels would never acknowledge. They described a structure, detected by ground-penetrating radar, too geometric to be natural. They spoke of expeditions that went silent, of equipment that failed for no explicable reason, of decisions made at the highest levels of government to restrict access to the area. Lake Vostok is only one of nearly 400 subglacial lakes in Antarctica. What else lies beneath the ice, waiting? Antarctica isn't just a land of ancient mysteries, it's a hotspot for modern UFO encounters. And these aren't just stories from conspiracy theorists, they're reports from trained military observers, scientists, and government personnel. In 1965, workers at a Chilean Antarctic base witnessed a bizarre phenomenon. For hours, they observed a flying object that changed colors from red to green to yellow, hovering and maneuvering with precision no known aircraft could match. The sighting was documented in official Chilean Air Force records and corroborated by personnel at nearby Argentine and British bases. In July 2002, a Norwegian surveyor working near Queen Maud Land captured footage of strange lights performing impossible maneuvers over the ice shelf. The footage was analyzed by experts who confirmed it hadn't been altered, yet no conventional explanation could account for the object's movement patterns. The Wilkins Ice Shelf incident of 2004 remains one of the most credible sightings on record. A team of glaciologists conducting climate research witnessed a massive disc-shaped object emerge from beneath the ice shelf, hover for approximately 40 seconds, then accelerate vertically at a speed estimated to exceed 20,000 miles per hour. The witnesses included 3 PhDs and 2 military observers. All signed affidavits describing what they saw, despite knowing it would damage their professional reputations. Why Antarctica? Why does this frozen desert, virtually uninhabited and impossibly remote, attract so much unexplained aerial activity? Some researchers suggest that if extraterrestrial beings wanted a base on Earth somewhere away from human observation, somewhere geologically stable, somewhere with abundant water in the form of ice, Antarctica would be the perfect choice. It's the one place on Earth where you could hide something the size of a city, and no satellite, no spy plane, no curious explorer would ever find it beneath the ice. In 2016, images circulated online showing what appeared to be pyramidal structures emerging from the Antarctic ice. Skeptics quickly dismissed them as natural mountains, shaped by erosion and ice movement. But the images reignited a controversial theory that had been circulating in fringe archaeological circles for years. The theory suggests that Antarctica wasn't always frozen, that millions of years ago, or perhaps only thousands, it was temperate enough to support civilization. Proponents point to geological evidence showing that Antarctica was once part of the supercontinent, positioned much farther north, with a climate that could have supported life. Charles Hapgood, a professor at Keene College, proposed the theory of crustal displacement, the idea that Earth's crust can shift rapidly over the molten interior, causing entire continents to relocate to different climate zones in relatively short geological timeframes. While mainstream geology largely rejects this theory, it offers a tantalizing explanation for how an advanced civilization might have thrived in Antarctica before a crustal shift plunged it into polar darkness. Could an ancient civilization have built structures in Antarctica? Could they have possessed advanced technology, perhaps even contact with extraterrestrial visitors before some cataclysm buried their world under ice? The satellite images of pyramidal formations are intriguing but inconclusive. Nature can create geometric shapes through erosion and tectonic forces. But what if, just what if, they're not natural at all? What if beneath those formations lie corridors, chambers, and technologies waiting to be discovered? Here's what we know for certain. Antarctica is governed by the Antarctic Treaty, signed in 1959 by 12 nations and now recognized by 54 countries. The treaty prohibits military activity, mineral mining, nuclear testing, and nuclear waste disposal. It promotes scientific research and protects the continent's ecology. Noble goals, on the surface, But critics point out something interesting. The treaty essentially restricts civilian access to Antarctica. You can't just buy a ticket and explore wherever you want. Access is tightly controlled, permits are required, and vast regions remain off-limits to everyone except military and government-sanctioned scientific personnel. Why the restriction? If it's simply about environmental protection, why the military-level security around certain zones? Why are some regions classified with security clearances higher than nuclear weapons facilities? Whistleblowers from various governments, individuals whose credentials check out, whose backgrounds are verifiable, have come forward over the years, claiming that Antarctica harbors secrets deemed too dangerous for public knowledge. They speak of underground facilities, of reverse engineering programs, of diplomatic protocols for scenarios the public doesn't know exist. Most are dismissed as attention seekers or mentally unstable. But the sheer volume of similar claims from independent sources across different countries and decades creates a pattern that's difficult to ignore. In 2018, a massive cavity was discovered beneath Thwaites Glacier Cavity 2/3, the size of Manhattan and roughly 1,000 feet tall. NASA scientists were shocked by the finding, not just by its size, but by how quickly it had formed. Climate change was the official explanation, but the speed and scale of the cavity's formation defied standard models of glacial melting. Then, in 2020, researchers detected radio signals emanating from beneath the Antarctic ice signals, with patterns suggesting they weren't random natural phenomena. The signals repeated at regular intervals, too precise to be geological activity, too deep to be from any known research station. The scientific community has offered various explanations: unusual electromagnetic properties in the bedrock, EQUIP-MENT malfunction, interference from research stations, but none of these explanations fully account for the signal characteristics. And let's not forget that biological mysteries. In 2010, scientists discovered extremophile bacteria in Lake Untersee that could survive conditions previously thought impossible for life. These organisms thrive in water so alkaline and oxygen-rich that it would kill most Earth's life. Using biochemistry that seems almost alien, if life this strange exists in Antarctica's subglacial lakes, what else might be down there, perfectly preserved in ice, waiting to be found? So what are we to make of all this? Ancient maps depicting a coastline that shouldn't have been known, military operations terminated under mysterious circumstances, magnetic anomalies, UFO sightings by credible witnesses, possible structures beneath the ice, and government secrecy that rivals the most classified programs in human history. Are there aliens in Antarctica? Is there an extraterrestrial base beneath the ice, monitoring humanity from the most remote location on Earth? Or is the truth something even stranger, evidence of a lost human civilization that possessed technology we're only now beginning to understand? Technology that might have come from the stars. Perhaps the real question isn't whether something is hidden in Antarctica, but rather, what are we not being told, and why? Admiral Byrd once wrote in his diary, never officially published but leaked decades after his death, "I must write this diary in secrecy and obscurity. It concerns my Arctic flight of February 19, 1947. There comes a time when the rationality of men must fade into insignificance, and one must accept the inevitability of the truth, even if it is in complete defiance of one's concept of reality." What truth did he discover? What truth lies waiting beneath 2 miles of ice at the bottom of the world? Antarctica keeps its secrets well, but ice melts, technology improves, and truth, no matter how deeply buried, has a way of surfacing. The frozen continent waits in silence, holding answers to questions humanity is perhaps only now beginning to ask. And as the ice slowly retreats, revealing what has been hidden for millennia, we may finally learn whether we are alone in this universe, or whether the visitors have been here all along. Watching from the coldest, most isolated place on Earth, the mystery endures, the truth awaits, and perhaps, just perhaps, something in Antarctica is waiting too. What do you believe lies beneath the Antarctic ice? What secrets is the frozen continent hiding? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more forbidden stories and ancient mysteries that challenge everything we think we know about our world.